Today, we are going on a journey to decode a secret language, one that's written all around us, woven into the very fabric of our world. You ever just look at something, like a shell or a passing cloud or even a simple tree, and you get this strange sense of familiarity? Like you've seen that exact shape somewhere before, but in a totally different context. Well, let's dive into that feeling. I mean, you see it everywhere once you start looking. In the wild spirals of a Romanesco broccoli, the impossible symmetry of a single snowflake, the jagged, chaotic branches of a lightning bolt, or the delicate, repeating fronds of a fern. These patterns are absolutely beautiful. They're incredibly complex. And yeah, they're literally everywhere. So is this all just one big, beautiful coincidence? A cosmic accident? Or is there something else going on? A universal set of rules? A hidden code that tells things how to grow, how to form, how to be? Well, that's exactly what we're here to find out. As it turns out, there is a code, and its language isn't what you might think. It's not biology, it's not chemistry, it's something way more fundamental. It's math. Let's start with one of the most important words in this language, the fractal. So what is a fractal? Well, it's a pattern that is infinitely self-similar. The easiest way to get your head around it is to just picture a fern. One single frond looks like a perfect miniature version of the entire plant. And if you could zoom in on that frond, you'd see the pattern repeat again and again forever. It's a way of packing almost impossible complexity into a single, simple repeating rule. And once you see this fractal logic, you can't unsee it. It's what shapes our coastlines and our rivers. But get this, it also shapes you. The ridiculously intricate networks of your blood vessels, your lungs, your neurons, they all follow these same branching rules. So from the absolutely massive to the truly microscopic, nature is using the same code. Now, let's look at another one of nature's favorite tricks, the hexagon. Why this specific six-sided shape? It's simple, really. It is the single most efficient design in the universe for tiling a flat surface, period. It gives you the most strength and the most space for the least amount of material and energy. And the proof is all around us. Water molecules, when they freeze, arrange themselves into hexagonal snowflakes because it takes the least amount of energy. Bees build their honeycombs out of hexagons to store the most honey possible while using the absolute minimum amount of wax. Even cooling lava cracks into hexagonal basalt columns to distribute the stress perfectly. It's not just pretty, it's pure problem-solving genius. Okay, so we've got shapes. But there are also numbers, specific, kind of mysterious numbers that just keep popping up over and over again. And none is more famous than this one right here, phi, or roughly 1.618. You've probably heard of it, the golden ratio. You can find it in the spiral arrangement of leaves on a plant stem, a pattern known as phyllotaxis. This specific angle is nature's perfect solution to make sure every single leaf gets the maximum amount of sunlight without casting a shadow on the leaves below it. It's the optimal setup, and you find it everywhere, from pine cones and sunflowers to the very structure of proteins inside our cells. So, okay, we're starting to get the what. We know the patterns are fractals, hexagons, spirals, but that's not the whole story, is it? The really deep question, the one that changes everything, is why? What are the fundamental rules of creation that make these patterns appear? Back in 1952, the brilliant mathematician Alan Turing gave us a huge clue. He came up with a theory that patterns like the spots on a leopard or the stripes on a zebra could be created by a simple little chemical dance. You have one chemical, an activator, that makes the color, and another chemical, an inhibitor, that blocks it. As these two chemicals spread and interact, poof, complex, beautiful patterns emerge from just a couple of simple rules. Turing's idea was absolutely genius, but it turns out it's just one piece of an even bigger puzzle. There's a deeper, more universal law at play here, and understanding it requires a fundamental shift in how we see the world. For about 100 years, the dominant idea in science was that shape is just a result of growth. Things get bigger, and they take on a form. But this new idea completely flips that on its head. It argues that it's not growth that creates form, it's flow. And this leads us to the master principle, the constructa law. Here's the big idea. For any system anywhere to survive over time, it must evolve to let whatever flows through it move more easily. That's it. Think of water flowing in a river, air flowing into your lungs, even information flowing through the internet. all of these systems naturally reshape themselves over time into more efficient, branching patterns. That tree-like design isn't a choice, it's an inevitable consequence of physics. It's the universe's tendency towards easier flow. And here's where it gets really personal. This isn't just about rivers and trees and things out there. This universal law of design is written directly into the architecture of our own bodies. Right? This law of flow isn't just for the non-living world. It is the architect of our very biology. And what's more, it's the silent inspiration behind some of our greatest inventions. We don't just observe this pattern, we are this pattern, and we build with it too. I mean, the connection is uncanny. The fractal branching in your lungs is the absolute best design for getting air to flow efficiently, and it's the same exact principle that shapes a river delta for water. And we even copy it whether we realize it or not. The design of those foam-like marine skeletons, that inspired the incredibly strong yet lightweight architecture of the Beijing Aquatic Center. We're constantly rediscovering the optimal solutions that nature figured out ages ago. You know, when you really start to see the world through this lens, through this language of flow and form, everything changes. It's like the world becomes re-enchanted. Just let that sink in for a moment. The very same universal physics that carves a river into a landscape over millions of years also designed the intricate branches of your lungs so you can take a breath. Right now, in this moment. We have this tendency to think of ourselves as separate from nature. You know, humans over here, nature over there. But we're not. We are a direct, living, breathing continuation of these universal patterns. We are an expression of a physical law that governs the entire cosmos. So, if the exact same fundamental law of design shapes a spiral galaxy, a river delta, and the very network of neurons processing this thought inside your mind, what does that really mean about our place in it all? It suggests we're not just living in the universe, we are the universe, becoming aware of its own elegant, repeating, and breathtakingly beautiful design.